If you're over 40 and feel stuck, this message is for you. Consider grabbing a pen and a paper. I'm going to share with you some key things that's going to really assist you to get to the next level with your muscle gains, your fat loss gains, weight loss gains, what those targeted areas. First thing is to consider is to having a clear, specific goal. So we'll do a little goal setting exercise right now together. So if you could wave a realistic magic wand and you could have your body, your health, your energy, any kind of way you wanted, we now and say a year from now, what would that be like for you? Get clear and specific. Dial it down ideally to a specific body weight and a body fat percent. And once you have that ideal body weight and body fat percent, that is your target goal. That is something that gives your mind something to focus on, where you're headed. And then consider wrapping it up into this affirmation / prayer. I'll share it with you right now. It goes like this: I am happy and grateful now that I am, and then plug in your body weight, body fat goal. I use myself as an example. I am happy and grateful now that I am at least 190 pounds and at or below 10% body fat. Then you can add to you can say more things, and you can even use other goals in your affirmation / prayer. But we're talking about your fitness. So dial it down ideally to your specific body weight, specific body fat percent. Then let's wrap it up into an affirmation / prayer. I am happy and grateful now that I am, plug in your body weight and body fat percent goal. Now, once you have your target, we can't just say what you want to be. We actually must have to take action, right? And the actions, I feel, around 5 key areas: exercise, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, mindset. So let's look at exercise. Imagine for a moment that we have a twin-engine airplane, 2 engines on the airplane. One engine is strength training. One engine is cardiovascular training. Now, ideally, when you're flying along, yes, we want both engines going strong on the airplane. So ideally, have a good strength training program and a good cardiovascular training program. Now, when it comes out to building out a strength training program, consider these 5 principles: proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles, and consistency. Let's look at proper form. Why would it be important to have proper form when exercising, particularly strength training? 2 big reasons. One is to prevent injury. And then what's the other reason? So you can your muscles are getting utilized effectively. You're getting the best use of your time. I know most of us are really busy. We have a lot going on. So when you're in the gym, if you want to get the most use out of your time, the most efficient use, that is to do proper form. You're going to get the best value out of the exercise by doing the form correctly. And less chance of injury. It's huge. Huge. So we said proper form, then variety. Why would you want to change it up from time and time again? Why not do the same workout over and over again, not changing it up? A couple things come to mind. One is mentally, people get bored. But then also, too, physically, have you ever heard of a plateau? A plateau is where you get to a certain level in your training program and your body just doesn't go to the next level. Well, how we get around plateaus, breaking through plateaus, is variety. That's a good way to do it. And how can you add variety into your workout? You can change around the way you design the program, for one. You can change around the exercises, substitute different exercises. You can change around the tempo of the movement, maybe 5 seconds on the way down, 1 second pause, explosive up, or maybe 3 seconds on the way down, 1 second pause, 2 seconds up. Variety. So we have proper form, variety, and then the third one is intensity. What comes to mind when you think about exercising with intensity? Well, think about it for a minute. Imagine we're doing chest presses. And we're going for 12 repetitions. We get to 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, and we barely got number 12, but we got number 12. What's the most beneficial part of that set? The first few reps or the last few reps? Be the last few, right? And why? That's where the breakdown occurs. That's where the challenge is. That's where you're putting those muscles under stress. And so over the next few days, you're going to recover and adapt and get stronger. But it starts off with that intensity. So we talked about proper form, variety, intensity. And the next one's proper training principles. There's all sorts of training principles. Drop sets, compound sets, supersets, up and down the rack, 21s, rest pause. I encourage you to get familiar with what the different principles are and sprinkle them into your routine. The fifth component to a good training program is consistency. Now, what comes to mind when you think about the principle of consistency? Well, let's take a look at it. Imagine you have you and say you have a twin of you. And we're going to meet back here in 1 year and see who's done the best with your fitness. You start off, you work out 4 days a week, you do your strength and your cardio, you're eating healthy, you're getting your rest. The other twin starts off that way, but then misses a workout here and there, skips a meal here and there, has a little more junk here and there, doesn't always get the full amount of sleep here and there. At the end of the year, who is going to have the best results? The consistent version of yourself. That's right. The power of consistency. So when it comes to training, consider the 5 principles of a good training program: proper form, variety, intensity, proper training principles, and consistency. Now let's look at nutrition. Imagine for a moment that we want to build a beautiful 2-story house from scratch. And imagine that we only have half the materials necessary to build the house. How far are we going to get? Part of the way, halfway, right? The foods that you and I eat on a daily basis are the supplies that goes towards building this home, like the food are the supplies that build our bodies. So what I recommend, glad you asked, approximately 50% of your intake to come from fruits and vegetables, 25% whole grains, and 25% healthy proteins like legumes, lentils, nuts, seeds. You see, when it comes to our diet, I feel like there are basically 4 different ways that eating affects our fitness journey, affects our metabolism, our energy levels, our blood sugar levels, and our insulin levels. Now imagine for a moment that we have a fireplace. And on one hand, we have a stack of oak wood. And on the other hand, we have a stack of paper. Now, not including kindling and, and getting the fire started, but if we had to choose between the oak wood or the paper to burn in your fireplace, which one would you pick and why? Well, most of us will pick the oak wood. And why is that? Because the oak wood is going to burn longer, slower, more efficiently. The paper is going to burn fast, very inefficient. The oak wood is nice and slow burning. So foods like fruits and vegetables and whole grains and healthy proteins like legumes, lentils, nuts, and seeds, they all high in fiber and they burn real slow. That's going to give you an efficient metabolism, good energy levels, and just keep your insulin and blood sugar levels at a nice, stable level. That's where a lot of people feel optimal health is. Well, particularly when you're eating. So let's take a look at recovery. When it comes to recovery, I feel basically for us humans, or basically for most of us, 7.5 to 9 hours of sleep a night is the recommended range. 2 hours of deep, 2 hours of REM. How can you do better there? One thing is to not have your last meal at least 2 hours before go to sleep time. And when in regards to go to sleep time, consider, if possible, having the same go to sleep time and wake up time every day, if possible. But then time your meal so that you're done eating 2 hours before sleep time. And if you accomplish that, back it up to even 4 hours, ideally. What that's going to do is when we eat, our metabolism gets boosted, increases, our body temperature raises, our heart rate raises. When we're not eating, our body's not digesting food, the body cools, the heart rate lowers, and that's the ideal situation going into a sleep scenario. So we want that cooler body, lower temperature body. So we talked about exercise, nutrition, recovery. Let's take a brief look at supplements. When it comes to supplements, I feel like there are basically two basic categories of supplements. We have nutritional supplements like shakes, bars, those kind of things. And then we have enhancement performance supplements like creatine, prescription medication, those kind of things. Then last but not least is the mindset. So we have exercise, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, mindset. The mind is really, really important. Imagine for a moment that you're on a construction site and you see this big crane, right? And in the bottom of the crane, there's that person in that little box. They're pulling the levers. That box is like your brain, and the crane is like your body. That box, the person in that box is controlling the crane. Our mind controls our bodies, not the other way around. Write that down if you have to. Our mind controls our body, not the other way around. Once you decide what kind of exercise program you're going to do, you implement it. You just do it, whether you feel like it or not. Your mind is telling your body what it's going to do. That's the discipline of it. And I know it's easier said than done. And speaking of that, I do have a couple of offers for you to consider. One is consider joining me in a complimentary consultation where we can sit on the phone or Zoom and go over your goals one-on-one. And I can share with you exactly how I can assist you, because sometimes it's not what we know, but it's what we do. And by taking action, sometimes having a professional hold you accountable. And that's really the key word here, is accountability. People do better with accountability, especially to someone that's a professional, not a friend or a loved one. They want somebody that's going to be not personal, but professional. It's going to help you get to your goal. But that starts with a complimentary consultation. Please fill out the form that's inside the description of the video, or send me a text so we can connect to 520-400-9573. It's complimentary. Let's set the time on the calendar. Let me know what time zone you're in, East Coast, West Coast, Central. I'm in Arizona, so we flip-flop a little bit with time zones. So let's lock it in. Send me the message, fill out the form, do what it takes. Let's get that consultation booked ASAP. Then another offer is I have a free app, a free workout app. This is the image to look for in the App Store, right there. You go to the description to how to download the app. It'll be inside the description of the video. You go inside, whether it's Apple Store Connect or Google Play Store, search for Workouts for All, Workouts, the number 4, ALL, all together, no spaces. Look for that logo. It's going to be matched up to that logo. Download it, set up a free account today. Every week I'm adding new workouts, since workouts are free for all. And then also I can if we're working together, I can customize a specific program for those interested in that. That's where the consultation will come in. So download the app for free, whether it's Apple Store Connect or Google Play Store. If you're interested in that, if you're interested in a complimentary consultation so that we can get together on your goals, and I can share with you exactly how I can assist you to achieve those goals. I know it seems challenging, but with us working together, that's how it's going to happen. So we set the consult, we get it done, I give you the plan, and then I walk you through the plan over the next few months. All right, that being said, consider that health is wealth. Without our health, what difference does it matter what earthly possessions we obtain? Health is wealth. So consider taking care of your health. Follow the big 5: training, nutrition, recovery, supplementation, and mindset. Be blessed, and I'll see you next time. I'll be back.